Right then, I'm going to bust a few myths. Well, there's a few myths going about this stabilizer filter. If you have the filter turned on, that you lose a lot of depth. And the thing is, you don't really lose any depth at all. It's negotiable. It's very, very minimal. If you have a stabilizer on one and your filter on at the same time, perfect. Your machine's lovely and stable. The stabilizer minimises the chirps in your... I don't care if I look silly or sound silly. It minimises your chirps, and if you put your filter on as well, that makes your stabilizer chirps a bit more suppressed as well. But you can tell iron's easier to define, so you won't dig as much iron. It puts that fuzzy edge of... It just makes it more obvious, the iron. There's a lot of YouTubers, expert YouTubers, that are saying don't have your filter on because you'll lose depth. But these same guys, I think it's quite laughable really, these same guys have 22 sensitivity on, you know, because and they're on about losing depth, and then they put the sensitivity down to 22. You've got 35 segments of sensitivity on this machine. If it's set up okay, with your stabilizer on, your filter on, you can use 30, no problem. 28, 30, 30. I use from 30 to 35, and it's quite stable. It's still sound. The filter hardly... In general detecting, you're not going to notice any loss with your filter on. You're just going to have an easier time. So put your filter on. You know, you can't say, oh, you lose depth, and then put your sensitivity down to 21, because then you do lose depth, which you won't notice as much as well if you're, you know, just general detecting. But if you're looking for all them faint, you know, if you're on the extreme side and you're looking for targets on the extreme edge of detection when you're in a good hotspot or in a good area, and most of the good targets are gone, and you're looking for those that everybody else misses, then putting your sensitivity on 22, and these loads you won't get. There's loads on extreme side of detecting, hammered, Roman, Saxon, everything that you'll miss because you've got your sensitivity on 22. Also, or 24. Also, you've got a lot of people use stabilizer on 4, 5, 6, right up to 12. As soon as you start getting to 3, there's a tiny minimal loss on 2. A tiny bit more. And I mean, it's tiny. I mean, it's hardly there at all. But once you get past 3 and past 3, that's when you start losing your depth and separation. But once you get to, you know, 4, 5, 6, that's when you start losing depth. And on 10, 11, 8, 9, you lose quite a lot of depth on that. That's when you lose your depth. So people have got the stabilizer up at 3 or 4, plus they've got the sensitivity down to 22, and they've got no filter on. When they could have your filter on, your stabilizer on, and your sensitivity on 30, and you're going to find, with a nice good steady swing, scraping the ground, you're going to find a load more. Seriously, general detecting, you're not going to notice that filter being on. You're just going to have an easier time, and I'm going to show you some signals now, what it does out when you're out here. Putting your filter on, it doesn't have reduced noise, put it that way. You know, like your big chirps, it gets rid of them, I'll tell you. And there's hardly any loss at all. Seriously, it's targets I dig. I wouldn't be able to dig them if there were any loss like that, any type of loss like that. They'd be gone. Okay, anyway, just watch the video I'm going to do now, and you'll see what I mean. Want to try to help? Okay, bye. I mean, hello again, because I'll be on in a minute again, but not bye. Sort of like, I'm just pausing, I'm going. I'm just sneaking off for a few seconds. I'll be back on in a second, so it's not bye. It will be bye at the end of that one, but not this one. Oh dear, 8 videos. Alright, so I've got a signal here. Alright, now it's not too obvious a signal. The reason I'm saying it's not an obvious signal is because if I lift the coil up an inch, it's gone. Or an inch and a half, 2 inches, it's gone. If I hover. Right, Kenzie, how are you doing, love? Not bad. Right, so I've got this signal here. And it's this is with, I've got stabilizer. Hang on just a minute. Right, I've got signal here with stabilizer off and filter off. Now this signal, it's not so an obvious signal. It's quite near the. It's not so obvious. The reason I'm saying that is because if I lift the coil up a couple of inches above the ground, it's gone. It's no more. I'll put it down just to above an inch or so above the ground. Still gone. Yeah. Now I'll put it on the floor, and this is how you should detect if you're on grass. You just glide it along the grass. You don't lift it up. You'll find a lot more doing that. Don't hover. There's no point in hovering. You've got a coil cover. You're not going to ruin your coil. Right. So that's with stabilizer on 0 and filter off. Right. So now I'm just going to put my stabilizer on 1. Yeah. Go over it again. Yep. Now I'm going to put the stabilizer on 2, 3. It's getting a bit more bitty now, as you can hear. 4. Look at that. 7. It's hardly there at all, practically gone. 10. Just get the odd pip. So basically, I mean, if I put that to 3 or 4 and lifted it up just a little tiny bit, it's, look at that, that's only half an inch off the ground, and that's on 3. So if that were a bit deeper, it'd be gone. Right, so 1 and 2, but you know, safe enough. 1, if you can 1, that's even better. Right, so now I'm going to go back to 1, and I'm going to put the stabilizer on. There we go. So I'm going to lift the coil up. It's still there, just a tiny bit when you lift the coil up, but it's just same really, not much different. And the stabilizer on. Now I'm going to show you the difference when you've got here. I'm going to do a right angle on this target, right? So I'm going to turn, this is with the stabilizer on 1 and the filter on, right? Now listen to that. I'm going to do the same with the filter off. This is what we mean by it suppresses the chirps. Right, now watch what happens when I turn this filter off. Ready? You see? That's what your filter's for. Yeah, so a lot of people don't realise how useful that filter is. Because seriously, it suppresses a lot of noise without hardly any reduction in depth. Put it this way, having your stabilizer filter on and your stabilizer on 1 is a lot more beneficial than having your sensitivity on 22 and having your stabilizer off. Sorry, your stabilizer filter off. Trust me. Now watch what happens when I put this filter on now. Watch. I'm going to put the filter on. Ready? Now that's reduced it. Look, I'll turn it off again. Listen. Off. On, I mean. Lot different. Seriously. There's one here. I've got a high target over here. High signal. There it is. So what I'm going to do, that's with filter on and stabilizer on. So 11 inches off the ground there. Alright, so I turn the filter off. Same distance. Stabilizer on. Number 1 and filter on. That's over a foot off the soil now. And it's still coming in, so seriously the filter is minimal. I'm going to dig these signals up now and see what we've got. First one. I don't think it'll be very deep, so it's in the top. And the third one, 82, 83. Oh, it's there. It's there. Oh, God, I don't believe that. Come on. Can't I miss that? Surely. What? No. No chance. Oh, no, come on. Look at that. I don't believe it. Look at the rust on it. No, no, no. How can I? I don't believe it. How have I missed that? Sugar and strife. Oh my word, what date's that? Hang on. Oh dear. 1873? Unbelievable. I've genuinely missed that. Seriously. Unbelievable. Look at the iron on it there. Oh wow, I'm buzzing. I don't believe it. Look at that. Oh my word. Love it. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, I'm getting giddy over a Victorian coin. I certainly am, yeah. I think I am. Oh my word. Well, that's made it all worthwhile for me doing this. It's not just all about ancient stuff. I love silver, Victorian and Georgian. Wow, brilliant. Anyway, there you go, that's my target stuck up. And it won't... Can't believe it. Don't believe it. I've had Victorian coins. I've had one Victorian silver threepence out of here. Well, the back garden. I've had one silver shilling from that part up there, just in that bit of patch there. And I've had an American coin, silver down there. That was 1920 something, I think. Can't remember what domination. Oh, there's another signal there. I'll save that another time. Look at that, look. I've missed that one as well. Oh, I'm going to have to dig that now, aren't I? I'm going to have to dig that. See, that's tight, that's a 96. Right, hang on. Keeps going to 96. Ooh. Hang on, let's do a bit of filtering here. Let's filter and stabilizer off. Listen to all that noise. Right, filter on 1, stabilizer on. See how quiet that's gone now, stable. Let's dig it up. That's probably going to be a penny or something. Oop. See, that's in top as well now. Oh, it's out. Is it running shallow? It's got to be. We can't say out like that in this garden. Oh, what's that? There it is. Yep, that's it. Oh, it's a nut from a bike, a push bike. Yeah. There you go then. Just shows you, doesn't it? There's still loads of shit. I've been doing this garden for 40 odd years and with all sorts of machines and loads with the Minelabs. But this, it's still targets here. You'll never get rid of all the targets ever.